Hey everyone, it's Jason, and this is your midweek cruise news update, and I need your opinion on this one. Who's to blame? The cruise line for withholding information from their passengers, or the passengers for failing to read and understand their cruise contracts? So cruise story number one, and I have to say this one's a little disappointing news, as if you remember about 3 weeks ago, all the rumors were that Fincantieri Shipyard and Carnival Cruise Lines was set to announce their next cruise ships, and they were going to be over 200,000 ton mega cruise ships. Some even dubbed it as a icon killer. Well, we found out yesterday that's not going to happen, or at least that's not their next cruise ship. The next cruise ship will be their fourth Excel class ship, like the Mardi Gras, the Celebration, and the Jubilee. Where do you guys think this fourth Excel class ship is going to be located? So cruise story number two, have you ever thought about doing a cruise to the Arctic Circle? Well, Norway just made that a little more difficult. So they have now imposed, starting in 2025, new regulations. And that is, they have to be an expedition type cruise ship, can't be over 200 passengers. They also, during certain times of year, they can only sail at 5 miles per hour. So that's pretty difficult there. And they have to keep certain distances away from wildlife areas. So they've really amped up some of the regulations. Now, if you're not familiar, Norway also put regulations in for 2026 that makes basically sailing to the Norwegian fjords impossible. You would need an electric cruise ship to do that, and quite honestly, we're years away from that technology. So have you ever sailed to the Arctic Circle or the Norwegian fjords? Let me know in the comments. So before I get to cruise story number 3, I would ask that you please like this video, as it does help the channel grow. Also, consider subscribing, as I do daily cruise news shorts and tips and tricks. I also do longer cruise videos on Wednesdays, Saturdays, and Sundays at 8 a.m. Thanks so much. So cruise story number 3, who's to blame here? Is it the cruise line or is it the passengers? Let's watch this quick clip and we'll discuss. So in my opinion here, this lady and these passengers were extremely respectful. They just wanted answers. They wanted some clarity. Why was the cruise they paid for supposed to go to a location that they paid for and spent very good money on it? Why wasn't it going to that location? Don't you think that's fair? Well, see, in a later update, she said that they never left and finally got an update from a crew member. The captain never gave them an update, but it was from a crew member that said the decision was made 4 days before they got on the ship that the Norwegian Star was on a slow-go order. Couldn't go over 10 knots. Now, I don't know how you guys feel about this. Little sidebar here. If I'm going through Drake's Passage, I don't want to be on a cruise ship that's limited to 10 knots. That's just my opinion. But why wasn't this provided? Some clarity to the customers. Why did these passengers have to get in this big group down in customer service area demanding answers? And you can only conclude from this is Norwegian did not want to issue any kind of refunds. They didn't want to admit any kind of fault here. See, the cruise contracts are a little gray when it comes to that. Yes, they can change it at any time for any reason. And I understand they changed it for safety reasons potentially. And I appreciate that. But that's not a weather-related incident. It's not a medical-related incident. It becomes Norwegian's fault for not having their cruise ships able to do the itinerary that they sold that itinerary for because of mechanical issues. If that's what happened, because we got to give benefit of the doubt there. I personally think if that's what happened, Norwegian needs to take care of their customers. What is it, 2,000 people? Do the right thing. And whether that's 25% future cruise credit or 50% future cruise credit, that's their decision to make. Now, you're never going to see a refund, but you'll see a future cruise credit. But no information, no future cruise credits, nothing. Just, hey, we decided to change it. See, that needs to be a warning to all cruise lines You don't treat passengers this way. And we have seen other cruise lines that have bent over backwards when things have become an issue mechanically, like Royal Caribbean. I think of it in Alaska this past summer when they had one of their ships go down. They took care of their customers. That's the way you treat them. You want them to come back. You want them to be loyal. What do you guys think? I can't wait to hear from you in the comments. I appreciate so much the support. And until I talk to you next time, happy cruising.